Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Lesson 10, Writing Division Answers as Mixed Numbers. A mixed number is a whole number with a fraction. And we're going to talk about improper fractions. Improper fractions are top-heavy, meaning they are larger on the top than they are on the bottom. And this is the practice set for Lesson 10. It can be found on page 70 of your Saxon Course 2 book. Let's get started. All right. So A says, Alexis cut a 35-inch ribbon into 4 equal lengths. How long was each piece? So what we're going to do is we're going to divide 35 by 4. Let's see. 4 times 8 is 32, times 9 is 36. So it's going to be 8. And I get 3 remaining. So I'm going to write my remainder as a fraction. I put my remainder over what I'm dividing by, and this is my answer. One day is what percent, or per hundred, of 1 week? So 1 week has 7 days. So I'm going to set this up as a proportion. We're not really to proportions just yet, but what I know is I'm trying to find, if 1 out of 7, I'm trying to find the percent. So percent is per 100, and I don't know what this top number is. Okay? And when I set something up as a proportion like this, I'm going to cross multiply butterfly. So what I do is I circle the numbers I'm going to multiply, and then I add antenna because it's fun. Let's bring this back over here. So I get 7 times x is equal to 1 times 100, and then I divide. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. My x comes down, my equals comes down, and then I'm going to use my calculator. Okay, no I'm not, because we need a mixed number. So 7 goes into 100, goes into 10 once, and goes into 34 times, with a remainder of 2. So I'm going to put my remainder on top of what I'm dividing by, and that is my answer. Okay? So really, I don't know if we need that much. Okay, let me change colors here. All right, convert each improper fraction, so that means the top is heavier than the bottom, to either the whole number or mixed number. Okay, so the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to divide. So 5 goes into 12 2 times, with 2 left over. I'm going to put the 2 over 5, and my answer is, that's a 5. Good grief. 2 2/5. 12 divided by 6 is equal to 2, and that's my answer. Now E is where it gets kind of interesting. So I have a whole number, 2, and I'm not really going to mess with that when I do the division. So let me go ahead and divide 12 by 7. 7 is 5. And I get 1 5/7. I'm going to have to add this 1 back to my 2. Okay, so my answer is going to be 3, because 1 plus 2 is 3, and 5/7. Okay, that one might be a little bit rough. Okay, let me change colors. F says, draw and shade circles to illustrate 2 1/4 is equal to 9/4. So let's see, if I'm going to illustrate 2 1/4, so I know this goes here and this, that's 1 2, and then 1/4. And we want to see if it equals 9/4. So let's see. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. And they are equal. All right, let's do G. Now when we are adding fractions, we don't mess with the bottom unless we need to do a common denominator, which we don't here. We have a common denominator. So if I wanted to rewrite this, it could be 2 plus 2 plus 2 all over 3, because the 3 is not going to change because we're adding. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, and then it asked me to simplify. So 3 goes into 6 2 times, and that's my answer. Let me go ahead and change colors here. All right, so with multiplication, I multiply across the top and I multiply across the bottom. So I have 7 times 2, that's times 2, over 3 times 3, which is 14 over 9. Let's go ahead and do our division to find out what our mixed number is. 9 goes into 14, not even twice, so once, with 5 left over. So I'm going to put the 5 over the 9, and this is my answer. Last one on this page, 1 2/3 plus 1 2/3. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm adding, so I'm going to keep that common denominator. So what I have is I have 2 plus 2 is 4 over 3, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Now I need to fix this, okay, because this is not an acceptable answer. So 3 goes into 4 once, with 1 remaining. So 1 1/3. And remember, just like we did here, I'm going to have to add that 1, the whole 1, to 2. So I have 3 1/3 is my answer. Okay. All right, convert each mixed number to an improper fraction. So what we're doing here is we're doing what I call the butterfly. I'm sorry, not the butterfly, the popcorn. Everything's got a name. So if I'm trying to convert this to a mixed number, I'm going to draw popcorn, okay? And I'm going to multiply here and add here. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. All of that goes over 3. Okay, so that's J. Let's do K. So I have 3 and 5, 6. I'm going to draw my popcorn, times plus. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 5 is 23, all over 6. So these are my answers here. And that's what they want. They want an improper fraction, so we're good. Let's do L. 4 and 3/4, I'll draw my popcorn, times plus. 4 times 4 is 16. Oops. Plus 3 is 19 over 4. I hope you're kind of seeing a pattern here. I'm going to do M over here, which is 5 1/2. Draw my popcorn, multiply, plus, times plus. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Okay, 6 3/4. You're welcome to try these ahead of time or pause this so that you can see if you can do it and then check your answer. Those are all good things. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3 is 27. And my last one for this set is, let's draw my popcorn, times plus. 5 times 10 is 50, plus 2 is 52 over 5. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. I'm going to pause and erase this. And then when we come back, we'll do P, and then we'll do the first starred problem. So P says write 3. Oh, what happened? Go back. Oh, here we go. Write 3 improper fractions. That means the top is going to be larger than the bottom. For the number 4. So if I were going to write 4 as a fraction, it's 4 over 1, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these by 1, basically, to get different improper fractions. For instance, I'm going to multiply this by 2 over 2, which gives me 8 over 2. And that's 1. So let me do another one. 4 over 1 times, let's do 3 over 3. That gives me 12 over 3. And if you divide each of these, you'll see that you get 4 times 4 over 4, which is 16 over 4. And that's how you get 3 improper fractions. You multiply by some form of 1. So like 2 over 2 is equal to 1, 3 over 3 is equal to 1, 4 over 4 is equal to 1. And we'll talk more about this property in a future lesson. So let's do number 1. Use the fractions 1/3, 1/2, 1/3, and 1/6 to write an equation that illustrates the associative property of multiplication. So let's see. Can we do this? And we know that order remains the same, but parentheses don't. So here I have 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6, times 1 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1, 6 times 6 is 36. Let's see if we get the same answer on this side. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 6 is 18. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 18 is 36, and that's it. All right, let me know if you have any questions about these practice problems and this one starred problem. I'll see you again in Lesson 10 starred problems. Have a great day.